Number 10. Where the Bad Kids Go. This is a story about a Lebanese photographer that wanted to go back and investigate a show that he used to watch as a kid in wartime Lebanon. It seemed to have been a kid's show, and the 30-minute show relied on graphic imagery and scare tactics to keep kids from misbehaving. And the moral of it was things, for example, like bad kids stay up at night, or bad kids that go in the fridge for a snack, or something like that. And the closing scene towards every episode was a slow zoom towards an old rusted iron door, and you could hear screams coming from the other side the closer you got, and "That's where the bad kids go" pops up in Arabic. The man investigated the show and found out where the show was filmed. He even found the old rusted door, but was not prepared for what was on the other side. What he saw were blood, bones, feces, and a caged microphone hanging from the ceiling of the room. Number 9 is 1999. 1999 is about a Canadian blogger named Elliot that wanted to go back and investigate a show that he used to watch in 1999. It only aired for a few episodes and was very low budget. The first episode was called Playing with Scissors, which featured live action hands on a table. The episode immediately turned dark when one hand repeatedly stabbed another hand, while a child's muffled scream can be heard from the background. The next episode was called Mr. Bear's Cellar, which featured a mentally unstable man who would dress himself up as Mr. Bear and did things so gory and disturbing I can't even tell you here. Luckily, police came in and investigated the show and banned it, but the damage has already been done to those who have viewed the morbid episodes, and the bad memories could not have been erased. Number 8 is The Rake. In 2006, scientists have unearthed more than 12,000 documents of this creature dating back to Roman times, of this creature known only as the Rake. Ever since then, sightings of this creature became more common. One couple shared their story when they were awoken in the middle of the night. The woman woke up first, and she accidentally woke up the husband as well. The husband grasped her for protection. What they saw was standing at the foot of their bed, facing away from them, looked like a creature that was half human, half hairless dog. It pounced on the husband, then pounced towards the children's rooms. The terrified couple tried to put a stop to it, but it was already too late. And they saw her daughter mutilated and close to death, with her final words being, "He is the Rake." Number 7 is the SCP Foundation. Secure, Contain, Protect, better known as the SCP Foundation, is a fictional organization that unearths abnormal objects and creatures. Some examples are the Living Gun and the Never-Ending Pizza Box, which is kind of cool, and SCP-173, or better known as the Sculpture. The Sculpture is a weird creature that is made of wood with a bloody face and short limbs. The creature must be constantly observed because when someone breaks eye contact, it runs for the victim immediately and snaps its neck, meaning why it should be constantly observed, because when you observe it, it stays still, but when you look away from it, it is free to move. Number 6 is Wake Up. It has been reported that some victims of rape during the act would retreat into a fantasy world from which they could not wake up. In this catatonic state, the victim lived in a world just like their normal one, except they weren't being raped. The only way that they realized they needed to wake up was a note that they found in their fantasy world. It would tell them about their condition and tell them to wake up. Every then, it would often take months until they were ready to discard from their fantasy world and please wake up. Number 5 is Ben Drowned. Ben Drowned is about a man that bought a game called The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask for the Nintendo 64. The man said it belonged to a boy that didn't live here anymore, and he bought it instead. And while he was playing it, he saw a saved file named Ben. Upon playing that save file, all kinds of weird things began to happen, such as the text displaying incorrectly and the music started playing backwards. And it finally alluded to a boy named Ben that drowned. And he actually started to communicate to the man through the game. And all these bizarre messages came up like, "You shouldn't have done that. Ben is getting lonely, and you've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?" The man got really freaked out and recorded it with a camera, and all the footage is on YouTube. So beware, because you will be creeped out if you watch the video. Good luck. Number 4 is the Russian sleep experiment. During World War II, 5 test subjects were sent to prison with this new gas that researchers conducted on them called neoclative gas. This would prevent them from sleeping for 30 days, and if that were to happen, they'd be sent free. On the 15th day, all the results were in after they were going very paranoid and screaming and hollering and whispering in the microphone. "What are you?" one researcher said. The subject smiled. The subject said, "Have you forgotten so easily? We are you. We are the madness that lurks within you all, begging to be free in your deepest animal mind. We are what you hide from under your bed every night. We are what you sedate into silence and paralysis when you go to the nocturnal haven where we cannot tread." The subject smiled after that. The soldier got really scared and they shot the subject, and the subject's last words were, "So nearly free." Number 3 is Jeff the Killer. This is about a small, normal 12-year-old boy named Jeff that was once in a street fight with a bunch of teenagers and his older brother. He was getting beat up and pushed around and everything. Luckily, Jeff managed to fight them off with knife wounds and everything. But unfortunately, that night made Jeff loved inflicting pain on others. One night, the mother heard Jeff crying from the bathroom. She came to check what was wrong with Jeff, and this is what she saw. Jeff's mom found Jeff carving a permanent smile on his cheeks and cutting out his eyelids where he could not get sleep. The last words he said to his mom were, "Mummy, you lied," and then murdered his entire family. As his last words were to his brother was, "Shh, just go to sleep." Jeff was never seen again, and as legend has it, he's still wandering about in the forests looking for his next victim. Number 2 is Slender Man. Slender Man is a mythical ghoul that it stands over 8 feet tall, wears a tuxedo, and a blank face. He is said to kill children almost exclusively, as he can cause insomnia and paranoia, and if you see him, it's already too late. Slender Man can distort video and photo by having his face appear in it, and it is very creepy. Finally, number 1, The Other Watcher. This is about a man that checks into a hotel room for a few nights. The hotel manager said, before you enter the room, you are going to be passing a room with no number, and that you should not go in or even look inside. On the second night, the man got so intrigued that he looked through the keyhole of the door. What he saw was a pale woman standing in the corner facing away from the door, in an empty room. On the third night, he looked through the keyhole. All he saw was the color red. Nothing else, just a constant deep shade of red. When he checked out, the hotel manager said before he left, if he looked through the keyhole of the door. The man admitted that he did, and the manager said that years ago, a woman was murdered by her husband in that very room, and now her ghost haunts it. She said everything about her is pale white except her eyes, which are bloodshot red. Yeah. That's it for this video. Subscribe for more videos. Give